Hey,
what's See, I got it on time tonight.
Wait.
There was no black screen. I was actually paying attention.
And you know, the technology's working. It's not laggy. It's not choppy.
Don't jinx us, buddy.
Whoops.
Yeah, you know, you've learned enough over the last couple years. Let me see.
I sure have.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm making sure that people can comment in.
Oh, okay.
And I'm changing a word I wrote, talking Winthrop, but I put a Q in there, so now they're going to think we're all Qing on and conspiracy theorists.
I don't know at this point. At this point, honestly,
it doesn't. Well,
really
hey, listen, I saw a great meme today. It said, scientists predict that by 2050, there will be no more conspiracy theories, which will mean everything was true or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, the world is going to run out of conspiracy theories because they're all coming true.
You know, speaking of that, did you happen to catch? I know I posted it. I don't know if you watched it. The fall of Minneapolis.
I started watching it. Yeah, that's well. You know who's watching it though?
Just us.
You know who's not watching it?
The people that should be.
Yeah, the people that don't want to admit that everything they stood for in 2020 was all a lie.
I mean, let's for the moment just move past all that and talk about what this means. For those who haven't watched this or heard of it, I encourage you to watch it. The Minneapolis chief of police, when questioned about maximal restraint training, lied under oath and on the stand saying that they didn't train it. When Derek Chauvin's training manual had it in there.
Yes. Yeah.
With images, you know, drawings and figures and you know, examples. Yeah. And by the way, they don't lean on your neck. They're not kneeling on your neck.
No, it's your back.
Yeah. So he was there for almost only 9 minutes of the whole, what was it, 30 to 40 minute affair, something like that, or 20 something minutes. How do you railroad a guy like that?
Well, because it was an easy setup, and then all of a sudden there's no talk about the ambulance going to the wrong spot.
Right.
One.
Yep.
Which delayed everything even more. There's no talk of Floyd with drugs in his mouth.
Yeah, he was doing this. Oh, please don't arrest me, please. And then he had done that years earlier. The same thing. He pulled the same act.
But it doesn't matter. The damage is done. Whatever they did, and the narrative was pushed, and the idiots believed it.
Well, now people are wondering why there's so much activity in the cities going on with the looting, because the cops don't want to be the next Derek Chauvin. Oh, I don't blame them.
I think one of the funniest ones was what city was it, with the female mayor who was all about defunding the police. This happened like 5 months ago.
She
got carjacked and punched in the face.
Who was that?
Yeah, it was. She was some mayor of some city.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Gets carjacked and punched in the face and calls the cops. So anyway, we could beat that dead horse. But I wonder how the BLM supporters in Winthrop are feeling about their righteous, one of their righteous leaders supporting Trump now.
All
those BLM. I wonder Tracy Honan must be beside herself.
I'd like to hear. I would honestly want
Suzanne Leonard will probably be beside herself.
I want to hear someone's opinion on this.
They won't talk about it. They won't. Because that person will now become a black white supremacist to them. They're insane. Yeah. They're insane. But yeah, one of their righteous leaders. They must be these white liberal women in Winthrop must be. I don't care anymore.
I was reading some articles on it and, you know, trying to sift through the nonsense. I mean, the bottom line is he's getting attacked from the people that are still members of BLM, obviously. You would expect that. And he's being lauded by, you know, all the Republican politicians that are like, this is a huge win for us. And you know, honestly, it's just another ping pong in the ideological.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And I think it's great that the guy's woken up. The sad part is the people that are left behind are going to continue to live the lie. And those who,
especially the ones that bought mansions and made millions of dollars and lived in white neighborhoods in LA, the really nice white neighborhoods in LA. Again, beating the dead horse. You know. So first of all, what was the result of the Thanksgiving Day game?
22-0, the good guys.
I heard that kid Sacco had a pretty good game too.
Well, he's gonna kill me if he ever hears about this, but he did. He played sophomore, playing varsity, first Revere game. He played well. He had a couple of tackles. He was
Heard the kid has a future.
Had a couple of carries and he fumbled. Yeah. But we recovered it in positive. Yeah,
it's all right. It's all right.
Three interceptions on the season, not bad. He did well.
Yeah.
But
for a sophomore,
yeah,
right,
it was good. Yeah. I mean, he was starting, so
yeah,
they had faith in him. The exciting part of that was though him, in practice, I guess they do these sprint things, these sprints and in sets, and he was beating. I mean, they were beating each other, but he had never beat Nick Capuccio, who is the fastest kid on the team.
Yeah. Kathleen's son, right?
Yeah. Kathleen's kid.
Yeah.
The kid's great. He's an
that kid looks like he's a rocket too. He seems pretty fast kid. Your boy was keeping right up, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, listen, there you go.
If he has a future in running somewhere, and hopefully not away from.
I was gonna say that was a setup right there.
Yeah, we don't need that.
So there was a town council meeting last night. It was rather interesting.
I mean, what's that phrase? What's old is new again.
Yeah, what comes around goes around. What's old is new again.
Flag policy's back around, and some people can say if they want, we told you. But here we have the issue, and I went to the meeting last night. That there's an uncomfortable. Well, I would not be uncomfortable at all. The policy is the policy. I have no problem if I would have made the proclamation October 7th. When everything happened, I would have had it on the agenda for the next meeting. When the terrorist attack went off on October 7th, I would have been like, we need to raise the Israeli flag for our Jewish neighbors, because, I mean, that was the whole purpose of this flag policy. And I even went to the meeting, and I'll play this because I'll play it. I said right to Mr. Munson, you are all about diversity and inclusion. His campaign card said, working with everyone for the betterment of Winthrop. But they were looking for reasons they're still looking for reasons not to do this. Stephen Ruggiero looked like a deer in the headlights. This was classic.
Because they don't want to go outside the hive mind. They don't want to go against the agenda.
Mrs. Wickham, Eileen Wickham, my son's friend's mother, lovely woman. She's a sister of the Temple Tiferet Israel. Asked the question during public comment: how do you do this? How can we make it happen? And someone can ask their town council to make a proclamation, which, by the way, is a whole nother confusing issue. I'll get to that. Hopefully I don't forget. But anyway, so they said, yeah, you could ask your precinct council. So she looked right at Steve Ruggiero and said, Mr. Ruggiero, would you make the proclamation? He was like, and it was visibly it was uncomfortable, and it only lasted like a nanosecond or maybe 2 seconds. And Rob DeMarco bailed him out and said, I'll make the proclamation.
Good for Rob.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have bailed him out, though.
No, I would have let him bake.
Yeah.
I would have been like,
I hope she remembers that come election time.
I will say this. Well, he's not running again, unfortunately.
Oh.
I will say this, though. She's not pleased with him. She is not happy. And several others are less visibly angry and outward about it. But there's a lot of concern and discomfort about. So this will come up, and we'll stop playing the clips in a minute because I don't want to hog the whole time with my gums.
No, you can. The show is all yours tonight, buddy.
I got this wrong in the meeting. I missed one. There were 4 proclamations so far from the council. They say they don't take not orders. They don't take requests. They do take requests. I mean, we don't know, but allegedly they don't take requests. So there were 4 so far that have been motivated only by the people of the council.
So let me clarify. So a resident, a citizen, can't go into the town council or go into the town manager's office, because that's a whole nother thing. They both have say, which I don't really get that. Well, if they disagree.
The way it would work is let's say the town manager wrote up the proclamation and sent it to the town council president to put it on the agenda. That proclamation would be taken up and voted on. So there have been 4. And what has happened is in each case, a town councilor made the proclamation to be voted on. They didn't even have to think about it to make the proclamation. There was no behind the scenes discussion like there is now. Like John Munson was going around behind the scenes, grabbing his peers individually, which is completely legitimate. And you should do that. You should look for support for something if you're going to try and get it passed. He was doing what he should have. But to try and say that, he couldn't get it on the agenda in time, he didn't have time, to try and hide the fact that they're visibly and obviously uncomfortable with this is just flat out untrue and dishonest.
So let me ask you this.
Yep.
It's an opinion question.
Yeah.
How hard do you think John Munson really worked, considering he doesn't like you and he doesn't like me, he doesn't like the show, he thinks that you're a bully, he thinks that you're a fire starter, right? Mm-hmm. So how hard do you think John Munson's really working for you, right? This is purely opinion question.
No, I actually believe he responded to emails, he took up the thing. I don't think he's working. He has
to go through the motions.
I think he's looking for reasons to not do this. And in fact, after the meeting, he went up to Mrs. Wickham and the other Jewish people that showed up and said, I'd like to sit down and talk to you about what the right thing is.
Guy talks circles.
Absolutely.
Just talk circles. I want to sit down with you and talk about the right thing to do. Right. Is this guy out of his effing mind? That is the right thing to do, John Munson. Are you out of your effing mind? This is the problem with people that are told who to vote for and people that do their research and do their homework and look at each candidate and say, hey, I want to vote for this guy, right? This is the problem, because John Munson does nothing. He repeatedly just talks circles, tries to talk people away from what he doesn't want to do as a town councilor. And the guy's a joke. We tried to tell people this, but now his constituents are going to learn that guy is a joke. John Munson is a joke.
So can you put up the screen here?
Yes.
So let's let the people decide this, right? Like, in all fairness, because most people don't pay attention. So let's try to bring it to them. So I'll kind of breeze through this as quickly as I can. Where's the play button here? Oh, there it is.
I don't know. You don't have audio. The audio?
Yeah. Can you hear it?
No.
Hold on. Working on it.
All right.
How about now?
No.
Huh?
No.
All right, hold on. Why is it not? Maybe you have to. No, you got it up on your side through the thing. I hate this thing sometimes. Hold on. That's headphones. It's cranked up as loud as it can go on the deck here. Give me a second.
Oh, my volume's.
There we go.
Heard that.
Let's see if that helps.
Nope.
Still can't hear that at all, or is it just too soft?
Can't hear it at all.
Boy, that's a bummer. I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss. Hang on. Let's do this.
This is probably why we should probably get together before the show sometimes.
I guess we shouldn't have taken this for granted that it was going to work.
It usually does.
What's that?
It usually does.
It usually does. Oh, you can't hear me now. See?
I can hear you.
Do I email you this link and try it that way?
We could try.
All right, hold on a second. I don't want to bore people. I'm going to stop sharing it, though. Stop sharing. Am I sending it to the
Alex?
Oh, Alex. Alex. I have to do the.
Yeah.
Yep. Is it 2 or is it just the first?
Just the first 6 letters.
Gotcha. Okay. Video. Pasties. Here it comes. Okay.
See what I can do with it if I.
Yeah, I don't know what
once it comes through.
Yeah.
See.
So yeah. So in any event, I mean, I basically state the case that you made this flag policy. It's about diversity and inclusion. You've had
There we go.
4 proclamations made. You didn't delay. You didn't wait. You didn't do. You didn't. You only had one that wasn't unanimous either. Joe Aiello voted against the Italian flag because I'm not exactly sure, but it was because there's not a indigenous peoples flag. So you don't want to upset one group celebrating the other. But it's okay,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's ridiculous.
Well, that's highly educated logic, because Joe Aiello's a highly educated man.
Yeah, well, that has nothing to do with logic, and all it has to do with identity politics, and that's what that has to do with.
When you get that in there, get up to 5729 and let it roll until like 103.
That's a big file. I don't know if it's
still downloading.
Yeah.
Okay. Weird, because it's YouTube, right? It should be.
Well, no, because now I can't put the link up. I have to download the video and bring it into Restream. So I needed I need the clip itself.
I see.
So I'm downloading the whole video right now.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Does it tell you how much time is left?
It's a couple minutes. So we got time.
Okay. All right, good. We could probably get through most of this part without you having to listen to me talk, really. So that part of the conversation, that part of the open meeting goes along, or the public comment goes along. And this, I mean, essentially what has happened is that council has voted, has made the effort to put these flags, fly these flags under the, guise of trying to be inclusive and supportive of all the different, representative of all the different groups in the community, which I love the sentiment. I do. But I think the practicality and execution of it, as is being displayed in this particular instance, is not worth the juice isn't worth the squeeze, as they say.
You know what it is? It gives them an out. It's always going to give them an out. That's why it's designed like that. So one can always say, well, there's no Native American flag, so we can't do an Italian flag. That's going to be their out every single time.
But
that's why this whole thing is flawed.
It's clearly they're clearly picking favorites. They've made an effort to they didn't take a second. There was no hesitation to move those other proclamations forward. And this one, they're visibly uncomfortable.
So let's see. Now that Rob made the proclamation, right?
Oh yeah.
So now the town council has to vote on it, right?
Tuesday night, and I'll be in Denver.
And we're gonna see who the anti-Jewish people are, because that's what this is the way it's gonna display itself.
That's right.
It's the way it's gonna display itself. They're anti-Jewish, or I don't want to say anti-Semites because that's too strong of a word, but they're cowards, right? Because they don't want to go against their agenda, and we know what agenda that is. And I'm just speaking facts here. One side leans heavily toward the Palestinian side. The other side leans heavy toward the Israeli side. Now we're going to see this is where the rubber meets the road, right? Who's going to vote against it? And each one of those people that vote against it, if it gets overrode, if they say, no, we can't fly it because the board, well, they're going to be put out there and they're going to have to answer to it.
Some folks.
Well, John Munson will say, but let's sit down and let's see how we can work this out the right way. The right way. President. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. I mean, look, you see, and I'll address this for the 18 millionth time. You are a free American. That's it. I mean, sometimes, so I say this often now. It's something I learned listening to this guy. You know who Jordan Peterson is.
Yeah.
And if people really want to see growth in themselves and others, you have to risk being offensive and risk being offended.
Yeah. Well,
and nobody's willing. No, if you're not willing to do that, you are never going to change. You are never going to see anything any differently, and you're not going to reach consensus or compromise or whatever it is, or at least a general understanding of how to behave with each other. It's not possible.
Right. So you said what I'm going to do right now is that's a big file. So while we're doing this, I got it downloaded. You said it. What mark do you want me to?
57:29. Let it play from there to 103, and I'll let you know if I want to pause it on the way. Actually, cut into that a little more. Go to like 103 actually, somewhere around there, because I've pretty much encapsulated what I said. I requested that they fly the flag. I told them you made this mess. If there's if the other side wants to fly their flag, you got to take it up. I mean, this is your policy. You shouldn't be picking and choosing.
You
And
said one. What is it?
103.
103.
Yeah, 103.
103. Let's see what we got here. Are we going to run it to the end?
103 to 104. 20.
Laying out like. I'll just see what I do with this. Let me doing some on the fly editing here.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. All right, let's see how fast this takes. So there was also talk, I believe Jack Dowd talked about the
yes, that's what you're gonna
green space, right? And
yep.
And he said that there was something that had to do with Tony Marino had what was it, an offer sheet? What was the form that Jack said they need to have that Article 97?
Yes, I think so.
Included in it.
Yep.
If they're going to offer, what is it to for the developers, right?
I don't. Was it Article 97?
Yeah, I know distribution of land or something like that. I don't.
That wasn't my focus last night, to be honest.
Yeah. Let me try something. That's going to take a minute. So, what else went on there? Let's see if
that was the. I mean, they talked about the. By the way, this is good for the public to know too. There's a kind of I guess I'll call it a green electric program that you're either going to have the opportunity to opt in or opt out of or get information on, where some of your and all of your energy supply will come from National Grid, meaning that the delivery of it. But I'm sorry, not the supply. All of your delivery will come from National Grid, but your supply can come from solar farms. And there's an intermediary company that negotiates rates, finds the lowest rates, and puts together a contract for us that it doesn't guarantee anything, but it fixes the price over like a 2 to 3 year period of time, so that you can predict your number and your bill. You can have a more predictable energy bill. And they've been saving apparently on average 10%, and they're using less carbon.
Okay.
Allegedly. I don't, look, everything in the world is carbon.
Yeah.
So it's always, it's not going anywhere. I know you don't want it in the CO2 form, if I'm trying to be scientific at all, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's overblown. But yeah, it was an interesting, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, if it actually cleans up a little bit more, why not? And it's a savings, why not? I mean, that's
right.
That's all good to me.
Well, yeah, anything where you save money's good, man. They have that down there. We have this thing down here in Florida where you can you pay one bill throughout the whole year. It's it averages out. So they get your high and your low, and they give you a medium, and it's straight across. So in the summertime, when we're using a lot of the AC,
yeah,
we're not paying that crazy amount. But in the wintertime, when we're not using it, we're still paying more than what we probably should, but it averages out. That works. This is taking a little while to download, so I don't know if we're going to get to it.
Yeah, what a shame.
Big clip. So
that's a shame. The speech was something else. I mean, I really wanted to play. So what ends up happening in this meeting is after the first public comment completes, I mentioned in my part that Mr. Munson reached out to the temple, apparently, never shared that with us, but he reached out to the temple, and allegedly there was some discussion that they really, whether they said to him they didn't want it, they weren't behind it, they didn't request it, or whatever, that got back to me and a few other people. But he was doing homework, right? He was doing homework, trying to, again, look for reasons not to make the proclamation. And he was going on to say that I'm losing my train of thought here because I want that video.
All right. So let me ask you this about the video. Does it go at the point from where you were talking, where you stood up?
No, I was going to skip, actually. I was going to try to get to, I want to get where Munson was doing his part because he was trying to defend.
All right. He's sitting there trying to explain this away, right?
Yeah, he's on this. He's trying to explain away that he got an email from me. Then he got another email.
All right, let me try to pull that. Let me try to cut that clip then.
Yo, you can see it?
Yeah, I'm scanning. It was after Jack talked, right?
Yeah, Jack had so
and then you stood up and talked. That's what I'm looking at, right?
Jack got up again because he listened to what Mr. Munson said, and he goes, I don't know what kind of circular thing he was saying, but it didn't, because John said, I didn't know that there was so much fear in the Jewish community. Like, and later on, Jack Dow gets up basically saying, are you kidding me? You didn't know
this is what I mean. This guy he's a fraud. Absolute fraud. All right, here we go. Let's try to save this clip. So it jumps back and forth from the lady next to you was talking, right?
Yeah, Marcy.
So is it after her?
Yeah, it's after her.
All right, I think I got it then. Let's and then cuts to Jim. Let's see where we're at from here. Let's see what we can pull up. Maybe this one might
be enough.
Go a little faster, yeah.
Well, we gotta get yeah. We gotta get to an hour and 37, I think.
Well, we'll see where we're at as far as this goes. Try to get it. So in the end, this is all going to be decided by next Tuesday, right?
Well, I mean, Rob DeMarco, to his credit, sent in the proclamation. I actually got a peek at it. It looks really great, and they have to vote. As long as Jim puts it on the agenda, and it's my understanding he doesn't want to,
So
there was palpable anger, a little bit of palpable anger last night.
On whose part?
On the Jewish people that were sitting there. Maybe not.
So then I guess we have to get a lot of attention drawn to next Tuesday's meeting.
I would suggest that, yes, I would suggest that we get some attention drawn to next Tuesday's meeting.
Yeah.
I think people should go there. I think they should attend and have those councils look them in the eye and take their vote.
Yeah.
That's how it's done.
And then they're going to have to answer to it eventually.
Yeah. I mean, I look, get rid of the flag policy and all of this wouldn't be happening. This is a waste of everyone's time. This is not what the town council should be spending any energy on. None.
Right. Well, now they have to. And we can say, we told you so.
Under the category of I told you so.
Yep.
And to Tony Marino, I was talking to him about it. He's like, look, I'm not worried about it. I'm like, it's not about whether or not this goes to a lawsuit. This is sitting here right now, sucking up time and causing friction in the community. And it's not me. It's not me. There are other.
And is Tony Marino going to distance himself from this?
In what way?
I don't know. Well, he's one of the. So that's what I don't understand. So there's two ways to get this thing to get a flag flown. You have to have one of your councilors do make a proclamation. And didn't Marino have something to do with it too? Couldn't he just come in and say, "Hey, I want to do this"?
Yeah, all the proclamation does is get it on the agenda. All the proclamation is the trigger, essentially. It puts it on the agenda for the council to take a vote. Marino has no vote. However, he can make the proclamation. That doesn't mean it'll pass.
Right.
It's a proclamation needs to be voted on. And anyway. I mean, why the question remains, why are they bending over backwards? Like John, when he was talking, was like so careful choosing his words as he was going through his part with respect to you know, how he feels, how he cares, what we should be doing.
Well, if this was the pride flag, he'd be all.
There'd be no discussion. It would have been a vote.
It would be a quick yes.
That's exactly what it was.
Be a quick yes.
It took no time at all. None. They didn't anticipate that Hamas would bomb Israel. They don't anticipate those.
They invaded Israel. They didn't just bomb them.
Yeah. Fair enough. But the people that put this flag policy together, they were so busy wanting to be virtuous that they didn't think about the unintended consequences of this thing, even though I hit them in the face with it multiple times. And they called me a bigot for it. You know, you're a bigot. You wanted to fly the Gadsden flag. That's a racist flag. In your opinion, that's a racist flag. I don't actually want to fly the flag. Remember, we said American flag, Massachusetts flag, sound like
POW flag.
We sound like stupid broken records here. It's like,
well, now the roosters come out to roost, right? The chickens come out to roost.
Yeah.
Now it's time to answer up, and I'm sure John Munson is and the rest of them. Well, I think there's a few in there that will have a quick yes on flying that flag.
There'll be 3 quick yeses if I'm
guessing. 3 quick yeses, and it should be across the board yes. But we'll see the true colors because they're going to have to answer to why they said no.
I wouldn't, you know something?
Because if they don't answer to it, then that says even more.
If I were the council president, I might consider just doing a yay or nay vote, not a voice or a roll call vote, because a roll call vote gives you an opportunity to grandstand. Do you really want to let people grandstand on this issue and worm their way out?
They'll just hang themselves.
Or have to just take the vote, yes or no?
They're going to say something stupid. They're not going to know how to say it. There's no right way to say that.
Well, it's okay.
I don't want to fly the Israeli flag. Why? Well,
no, you can't. When they're voting, they're just going to make a big grandstand speech and then say no. That'll be their vote, right? They'll kind of, but
at least they'll have it on record. They'll have it on record.
You know, they'll try to thread the needle that, you don't want to offend someone else, but your support for one group can't show a lack of support for another's. But you're okay flying a pride flag that does offend, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Some people in our community are offended by that flag.
Offended by that flag, yeah.
They don't like it. Nope. Or it's against whatever it is.
Yeah.
You shouldn't hate them for that. They're not hating you. They don't, whatever. They're free to think the way they want as long as they don't hurt you.
Yep. This should be no different than the pride flag.
And not for nothing, the Progress pride flag is problematic. It is a symbol that represents something completely different than what pride
than the original pride flag.
Yeah. And number 3, I wanted to add this before we give up on that video.
It's almost done rendering. So.
One of the things good. I hope we get there, because John says some things, when we're talking about pride and the like, he says some things in his speech that we want to make sure that, it was very, very concerning to me.
Yeah.
That's funny. I hope you got it all the way to 137.
I got a good chunk of it. We'll see what we get.
Oh, this is my fault.
No, it's all right. It's all right. It's almost done. I mean, it's live streaming. Yeah. People are going to scroll through it. You can fast forward if you're watching the replay.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah. So that's this is what I always said. Anything can happen in a live stream. Like in the past, you've had your video play.
Yeah,
For some reason, this one didn't. So this is just short of finishing.
What were you hearing? Were you hearing anything at all?
Heard nothing. All right, here we go. Let me get rid of this. Let's see if this will upload. Hopefully it does. Oh, gonna do it. So
didn't do it?
I don't think it's gonna do it. No. Because it's too big. The file's too big. So let me try to do it this way then. Hold on one second. Let me see. Local video. Let's try it this way. There we go. I think I might have it now. There we go. All right. I'm going to play it.
Who made it possible for the Ingleside Park tennis courts to be named.
Fast forward.
Just a little bit, yeah.
I look for John Domenico.
Oh, wow.
A little bit more.
It's possible without.
Keep going. Oh, wait, go back. That's John.
The attention. Other emails possible without.
I have received none. Nope.
Let's lead into it.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Any other?
That is awesome.
Yes, it is very nice. Denise, any correspondence that you have?
I have received none. Nope.
Any other correspondence? Mr. Councilor Munson.
I would like to. I mean, this is a hot topic, so I'll try to be as succinct and concise as possible without going too off the topic. But on 11/18, I received an email from one of my constituents. On 11/19, I got another email asking to consider flying the Israeli flag. And then 11/20, I received another one. So this was not long ago, and this is the first meeting since, so we are bringing it to the attention of the town council. And so the flag policy was created to basically celebrate a lot of things that make Winthrop. And
what?
We're still doing that. Is it a perfect policy? No. Was it crafted to make it so that it was?
I just want to start that. The flag policy was designed to make Winthrop. What? What?
So, and let me hit on the dates for a minute. He was in the beginning when he was going through the dates. He was building that little timeline.
Yeah.
He was trying to suggest that he didn't have time to get this on the agenda. He wanted to have the conversation in open meeting. Well, first of all, this is correspondence. This isn't, you're not having a discussion or a debate here. You're responding or reading emails and communications from your constituents, and you're sharing it with the council. This isn't an area where you're supposed to be deliberating, as an example, a proclamation. So he's trying to be cute here and say, I'm bringing it forward now. I sent him the first email from his mouth on 11/18. The deadline for him to get it on 11/17, forgive me, I sent it to him on 11/17. He read it on 11/18. The deadline for him to get it on the agenda for last night's meeting was the 23rd. I'm sorry, the 22nd, because 23rd was Thanksgiving. So he had Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He had 5 days.
So he lied.
To just send it. Right.
He just lied.
Now we won't get to this part, but at the end, so after he does this, when the next public comment comes up, I'm like, no, I'm correcting the record.
Yeah.
We don't have to get there, but I correct the record.
We can bring it up next week.
All right, keep going.
All right.
Please.
No, that's fine.
Free speech? No. It was crafted to be government speech to protect the town. And
I'm sorry. To protect the town.
Well, he's trying to say from a lawsuit, but he never says that.
Yeah. Yeah.
so that we weren't going to get. So I just think that it's important to keep this all in consideration. We are trying to do our best to fulfill this flag policy.
Oh, this dude. Instead of just saying, I make a proclamation, one of my constituents asked me to make a proclamation, I'm making a proclamation. This clown starts double talking, back talking, trying to sound all, pseudo, he's the pseudo intellectual type of sound he's trying to, This guy's a clown.
and celebrate and support all of our neighbors, residents, and friends. And so we are trying to do that. And in honor of these emails and correspondence,
Honor.
I wanted to bring it to the attention of the town council so that we could discuss it. It's legally
Pause. Okay, no, let that keep going. Listen to what he says here.
not permissible for us to have a conversation of a group more than 4 counselors. So it is.
Pause, please. That's true. However, just to correct the facts, he still went out and reached out to counselors individually, which is completely legal. You can do that. And he should be basically counting his votes. Really, you don't want to lose a vote. So supposedly you're not supposed to lose a vote. I could care less, but whatever.
What do you mean lose a vote?
You never want to bring something forward if you don't have the votes to make it pass.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes there are times I think you do,
Yeah.
so that the people of Winthrop can see
you're trying.
who's voting for what,
exactly.
and who's voting for what.
Exactly.
Right?
Instead of them trying to cover
how they
each
know.
other and say, don't
Right.
bring it up because you're going to lose this vote. And I don't really want to be connected to that no vote, but I'm going to vote no. So don't even bring it up. See, that is bullshit politics at its best. That is circling the wagons. That is a good old boys thing. That's all. That's all the shit that they claim they're against. But anyway.
Yeah.
Not possible
Please.
to have done anything prior to now legally. Just for
Absolute lie. You did something prior to now. You reached out to the temple. You talked to your people behind the scenes. Please continue.
This guy he's full of lies.
the
It's
to answer that.
unbelievable.
So I think that it is important to note that Facebook posts and aggressive texting and Facebooking is
What's he talking about? I mean, I did tag him on a Facebook post like, dude, you're ignoring me. I'm sorry. I want some attention on this. I figured and let me give you a little context about Mr. Munson and my last experience with him trying to get the Gadsden flag flown for the 4th of July, a national holiday, I might add. I quote on the way out the door when I left his studio, don't give up on that Gadsden flag. It's super patriotic. I didn't know the history of it. Thank you for sharing that with me. Like, made me think he was going to at least bring it up. Never did. Go ahead.
No. I backed it up a little. So
Facebook posts and aggressive texting and Facebooking is not like a good means of trying to get a proclamation made.
why? Any by any means necessary. If you're not responding, John Munson, well, then everybody's going to know you're not responding. You're sitting in the seat. You ran for the office, right? Respond accordingly to your constituent. Clown.
It's more about asking and having a conversation with people and seeing if we can get it done. For example, one of the town council meetings we had.
Beta male.
Pause. Seeing if we can get it done. I want to remind the people that might be watching, the first 4 proclamations did not require this much thought or effort.
Nope.
Not even close. Go ahead, continue. This gets much better.
We had something in the vicinity of 24 people imploring us to have the pride flag flown so that they felt included.
24 people out of the whole town.
They don't take requests, I thought.
Yeah.
We cut past that part. I asked the question, and I made the comment, you don't take requests. And Tony Marino was sitting down going, no, we don't. He didn't say it loud, but you could see his head shaking. And Jim comes back later and says to Mrs. Wickham, no, you can tell your precinct counselor. Well, which is it? Which is it? There's no clear direction on this. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
And so that's when we created a flag policy, and we actually did fly the flag, and it made many of them feel more included. And that's what we want. We want everyone in this town to feel included and safe.
So how about the Jews?
And so,
John Munson, how about the Jewish people?
I wanted to bring it to the attention of the crowd, of the council, but I also wanted to just make sure that people understand that I can only speak for myself, but I know these people on this council, their hearts are breaking.
Oh my God. Oh. This is
virtue
hard to
signaling is
listen to.
really-
This guy,
It's cringeworthy, isn't
this
it?
guy is hard to listen to, man. And I'm not joking. Like, I know I've cracked on some people. This guy is pathetically hard to listen to. It really is. I mean, as a man, I'm just going to say it. I know women that would say this guy is hard to listen to. This, oh,
There was
and
some,
I'm not
there was some
joking.
at the, there was some at the meeting.
This guy is, oh my Lord. Oh. All right, let me.
For all the innocent people that are dying. Are we going to solve an international crisis with the flag flown? Probably not.
Oh, you know what that means? That's his answer, baby. He just showed his hand.
You think he's going to vote
He
no?
just showed his hand. Yep. That's the tell right there. That's the tell. That is the tell. He just showed his hand. He's trying to build that bridge. 32 years law enforcement. I hear
but
everything.
You're giving him a lot of credit, like he's that calculated.
Oh, don't let the stupid look on his face fool you.
Oh my God.
You're looking at it. I mean, just saying. Matter of fact, I'll full screen it for you.
Oh my good God.
Just saying.
No, that's empathy.
No,
That's
I'm
empathy.
joking. But no, this guy, don't think he's not calculating. Oh, he is. He is. He just gave his answer. He's going to vote no. Trust me on that. There we go. Let me back this up again. I want to hear it again. It's hard to listen to, but
For me, I wanted to bring it to the attention of the crowd, of the council, but I also wanted to just make sure that people understand that I can only speak for myself, but I know these people on this council.
he said, I can only speak for myself, but I know the people on the council. So he's about to speak for the people on the council.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he absolutely
This
just
guy
does.
is- You cannot make this stuff up.
Their hearts are breaking for all the innocent people that are dying. Are we going to solve an international crisis with the flag flown?
There's the
Probably
answer.
not.
Yep.
But are we going to make people feel better? Probably. So I think that we should do something. What is the exact solution that makes most people?
The solution is fly the flag.
Fly the
Fly
flag.
the flag.
That is
He's trying to come
point.
up with an alternate solution. So
So
he doesn't have to
uncomfortable.
vote for the
You see
flag.
it?
Yes.
It's so
It's
obvious.
so
that
obvious.
he's using his words so carefully.
This guy. Oh my Lord. Oh,
Anyway,
a-
go ahead.
just
Go
a
ahead.
brick.
People happy? Because let's face it, no solution makes everybody happy. So we're going to try to do our best. And so one of
Best what?
It's a vote. It's a yes or no vote.
You do your best at what? Right?
Right. Like, what are you
We're going
talking
to try our
about?
best.
We're doing a flag.
Yes or
There's
no?
a flag policy that everybody working with everybody for the betterment of Winthrop, diversity and
Wow.
inclusivity. I love it. And everybody's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
It's unreal. It's
I always
mean,
say this. No. Say
maybe this is you know what? This is the new Winthrop votes. We're just gonna every week. I'm gonna go through the meeting and
hey,
this is gonna go on.
it's gonna go on.
Because there's 5 other people that basically think and act the same way.
Yep.
Anyway, carry on.
Yes.
if you look at our record so far, we've got 4 flags. And the bar was set pretty high. What we're doing is either
How was the bar set high?
having
Oh, this is
a
beautiful.
national or a state holiday that we're flying a flag.
Full pause. What national or state holiday does the pride flag represent? What national or state holiday does the flag pride? And by the way, the Gadsden flag, or at least the American flag, or some type of 4th of July flag, the Gadsden flag would have been the appropriate flag to fly on the Cultural Center in honor of 4th of July. And he even said it. He goes, I didn't realize it was so attached to the
Because
revolution.
he doesn't
And
do his homework. He only does what he's told.
yeah. Anyway, this part to me was probably the piece de resistance.
Okay.
Flag in honor of those. And then in addition, what we have is a Heritage Month and also a local achievement in the Eruzione, the Olympic flag for the Eruzione Day. So what we've got is a high bar, and we're trying to maintain it. But just for the record, it's not public comment, so unfortunately we can't have a
This is just
dialogue.
correspondence. So
Yeah, just correspondence. But I just wanted to elucidate.
Elucidate. Did he just make up a word?
I I should look it up while we let me try. Go ahead,
Elucidate. I just want to elucidate. Hey, listen, I'm always willing to learn. Always willing to learn.
God. Hey, it might be a word.
Yeah, well, let's see. Elucidate.
Oh, he's good. Make clear, explain.
All right, good. Well, see, he taught us something.
Yeah, work such as theirs will help to elucidate this matter. So let's see what he's
There
about to
you go.
elucidate.
Let's elucidate now.
So I just think that we need to come up with a solution that makes people feel.
Fly the flag.
Where was the clear? I'm still confused though, because he said he was about to elucidate and he didn't.
Let's get that again.
And also a local achievement in the Eruzione, the Olympic flag for the
Hard to
Eruzione
listen
Day.
to, though.
So what we've got is a high bar, and we're trying to maintain it. But just for the record, it's not public comment, so unfortunately we can't have a
this is just
dialogue.
correspondence. So
Yeah, just correspondence. But I just wanted to elucidate. So I just think that we need to come up with a solution that makes people feel safe and secure. I was not aware that people were feeling insecure until I went to one of the Temple Tiferet events, and I went to the last two that were.
Oh my God. I was not aware.
So that means if he wasn't aware that, so the police presence has been at the temple since the Ramona and Dave Cooper
Because the
incident.
guy was on his way to the temple.
Because he was on, because the whole
Yeah.
thing that was mopped over was his manifesto said
going to the temple.
he was on his way to the temple. So this is the part that actually keep it going because we want to hear what Jack Dowd says after this.
I was
Go
invited
ahead, Sal.
to, and the first one, there was a police detail in front of the building.
Oh my God.
I mean,
my
that didn't
goodness.
that didn't even cross my mind as a need, but apparently there is a real fear. Yeah, and so
Oh
I
my
think that there
God.
does need to be something done.
Does he not
I don't
watch
want it
TV?
to be a situation where anyone's feeling left out by making someone else feel included. So there has also been one other correspondence
mean?
on 11/20 by another gentleman who also suggested a world peace flag to honor all of those that have been the innocent lives that have been lost, and to basically not just for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but also for the Ukrainian conflict where thousands and thousands of lives are being lost.
John.
I don't know if that answers it, but it's not.
It doesn't.
Where are the Ukrainians wanting a flag?
Well,
Have the
if
Ukrainians
they
come-
need a Ukrainian flag, they get it off the front of Tracy Honen's house.
Well, but that's my question, right? Like, right? If we could have a dialogue with this person, I would be like, whoa, time out. Have Ukrainians come forward and said they want a flag? Then make a proclamation.
No.
It's that
Fly
simple.
the Israeli flag. That's it.
That's it.
You're trying to.
This is
He's
so-
square. He's like a worm underneath a piece of wood. He's
He doesn't
squirming
look as-
around under there.
He doesn't look as I'm gonna give him credit. He doesn't look as uncomfortable as Ruggiero did, but he's definitely dry mouthing it the whole thing.
Dry mouthing it.
A bad idea. And so what I'm trying to do is have the conversation in a non-hostile and a civil.
That was at me. That was directed at me.
Todd, you're so hostile and uncivil.
It's frustrating when I have to have my intelligence insulted by what I'm listening
Yeah,
to.
and he's hard to listen to. Did I say that yet?
It's really cringeworthy.
Yeah.
and comfortable manner so that we're not making.
We need to be in a safe space, Todd. There needs to be a safe
Yeah.
space. He needs to be in a safe space.
So before you press play here,
Okay.
I said in my first statement to them, I said to them basically, I've asked questions that I know you're not going to answer. We don't know why you guys are working so hard, not or not saying anything at all. I can't be in your hearts or your minds. I can't. But what are we left to think? It is so obvious that you're having trouble
Yep.
even saying the words. It's so obvious. So what are we left to think?
Well, remember, they lean.
Go ahead.
One leans to the Palestinian side, one side leans to the Israeli side. And we're seeing it in 4K. As I always say, caught in 4K, John Munson. We know what you're thinking.
Accusations of anti-Semitism without actually knowing the facts.
Accusing me of not knowing
Let's bring that up.
In a civil and comfortable manner so that we're not making accusations of anti-Semitism without actually knowing the facts.
What are the facts, John? What are the facts?
He said he's going to figure them out.
Any other correspondence by anyone?
And I didn't make any accusations of anti-Semitism.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Councilor Munson.
I made an intimation.
Committee reports.
It's hard to listen to.
Committee reports.
All right, so what do you fast forward?
Yeah, fast forward. What time are you at?
I don't know. It's not showing me.
All right, so keep going till you see jacked out. We're way past this.
I know I was making people.
Will you give us?
All right. Okay. Moving Robert, several months of their action. Half of the many love you in a timely
Thursday.
by town council.
Thursday, yeah.
What's that?
4 to 6 p.m.
It's almost coming.
You're welcome.
And I do have two appointments.
Keep going.
By Jim Lettieri.
Keep going.
From Suffolk. He has vision for the
Keep
town.
going.
I might have cut it off.
The meeting a little.
Why you at the end?
She went down, it really did.
Yeah. Look for jacked out.
No, that's where I cut it off. We'll get it next week. We'll get it next week.
Get him. It was brilliant. Anyway, the meeting ended. Eileen Wickham like I said, she had asked her counselor to make the proclamation. He was Ruggiero was visibly uncomfortable. You know, Tracy, Richard Fusillo, and Hannah said not one thing. Joe Aiello was in attendance via Zoom. He said not one thing. I would have wished he would have been there because I'm sure he would have pontificated. He can't help himself. But I don't think he felt. I think he was ill. Right. Barbara Flockhart said nothing. Ruggiero was the deer in the headlights. I mean, it's just a hot potato, and it's just so painfully obvious. I mean, national holidays. We've stuck to national holidays. Pride is neither a state
this guy's a clown.
or national holiday. And there are, again, I'll say this again, my friends, the people in my circles that are of that community could give or take pride. They fly their flags on their homes and they celebrate in their own way. They don't need all the hoopla and attention. They don't want it. So why are they? And I feel like, well, you know what? Let them have their thing then. Leave them alone. Like,
they have it so the Israeli flag should fly. That's all there is to it.
That's right. The bottom line is you made a policy, and if the Palestinians come up to you and say, I want a proclamation,
well, there you go.
You better take a vote.
And that world peace flag, no, that's not a solution. That's not a solution. That's a whole different ball of wax.
Let me ask you a
stratosphere.
Don't you make a policy to be isn't the flag policy the solution?
Good point.
What in God's green earth is that man talking about?
I don't know. It was hard to listen to, though.
So again,
I had no idea that there was such a threat. What?
That is utter incompetence on full display. Okay,
Lord.
I'm just gonna say it. People are gonna yell at me. I'm sorry. He's a representative of our community.
We can call him anything we want. He's sitting in the chair.
I mean, he's just not up to the job.
But they were told to vote for him, so they voted for him. That's all there is. That's the only thing I can think of.
So, and again, people are probably going to say, "Oh, sour grapes."
You weren't running against him. You weren't running against him.
No, but I'm going to make another comment that this past election, there were no issues discussed, none, and big grown adults mature people like Peter Gill and Phil Boncory and Ron Vecchia
Well, anyway,
and Joe Aiello, all those guys didn't care. And the people that they told to vote against me didn't care that not one person, and they told them to vote for Munson too.
Yeah.
They have no grasp of the issues at all. Max nor Munson,
Well,
and he's
the
been
voters
on the
get what they get. So if the people in precinct 2, if the Jewish people in precinct 2 voted for him, well, this is what you voted for. This is exactly what you voted for.
Yeah, you voted for the man who doesn't respect your
who's a coward.
Religion and your people.
Yeah. Oh, you can't say that. I do respect him but I didn't know. I didn't know. I mean, are you going through the last 6 months with blinders on? Last 5 months? Either way. All right, buddy. Well, we hit an hour. We broke our new rule already, but that's okay.
We won't do that again.
That's only due to technical difficulties. So
I'll say it again and again. I'll say it again and again. Pay attention. Politics is all local. It starts at the local level, and it's important that you pay attention to these things. And I think we do have to shift this a bit and start focusing on these meetings. And this is just too much. Anyway, we talked enough.
That's it. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you liked it, share it. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you didn't like it, thanks for watching for the last hour and 2 minutes. We'll be back next. Seems like either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, but we should be back Monday. But sometimes we have to flex. That's why we're on tonight. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching.